Here in the far north tropical Queensland coast has to be one of the most special places on Earth. It is the only place in the world where two World Heritage Areas meet. Just out there is the world-famous Great Barrier Reef, and behind me, the stunning Daintree Rainforest. What makes this place so special? The Great Barrier Reef is one of Australia's leading tourist destinations. We'll be going there later. First, we'll hike through the world's oldest rainforest. Pamper ourselves under crystal clear spring waters. Meet the smiling locals and experience the magic of eco-travel. I am in far north Queensland on the Daintree River. Behind me is the beautiful Daintree Rainforest. This is one of the most ancient rainforests in the world, and it is also World Heritage listed. This incredible environment has inspired operators toward ecotourism. They have a world-leading natural asset, and it's in their best interest to protect this wonderful place. But did you know that many years ago, the Daintree Rainforest was at risk of being cut down? Fortunately for us, some people in the 60s knew this unique place would be priceless and fought to save it. I'm off to meet one of these people. Here's the Mayor of Douglas Shire, Mike Berwick.
Oh, hi Lynn, nice to meet you. Yeah.
Nice place you got here.
Yeah, it's nice to have you here. Yeah.
So now we're going to log this whole area.
Oh, if you go back to the mid-70s, they were going to woodchip the entire landscape.
The whole Daintree?
Not only the Daintree, all the mountains. And so I became involved in all of these battles and realised that dropping out wasn't going to help anything. And so I got back in and went to a couple of blockades, one at Windsor Tableland to stop logging. It was the first logging blockade in North Queensland, and we attracted a lot of publicity.
Didn't you tie yourself to a tree or something?
No, I didn't. I just stood in front of bulldozers and got arrested a couple of times. Well, back in those days when we were having our blockades, we said people are going to like to see this. It's beautiful. You know, it's in a relatively safe, stable, wealthy country. There's no wars going on. Yeah. And people could happily come here and look at these rainforests. And it's certainly World Heritage listing now is on everyone's brochures. It's the reason people come here. It's an enormous industry.
Today, the Daintree is worth at least $400 million a year in tourism. To me, that sounds pretty valuable for a forest that was going to be cut down. Coming up next, it's time for us to show you some wonderful things to do in the Daintree. Absorb the Daintree hospitality and that eco-spirit. On the southern side of the river, nestled on a small parcel of paradise, is the Daintree Eco Lodge. This is a family operation that offers an experience that captures the natural essence of the rainforest. Terry and Kathy Maloney embrace the philosophies of the traditional Aboriginal landowners, the Kuku-Yulunji people.
Now they call this plant here milky pine tree. They get its name, milky pine, because of the cuts are made in the tree. When you nick it, it exudes a milky white sap. Now, if you're ever running through the bush, which is one of the things you should never do, and you happen to cut yourself quite badly, say you're going to need stitches, save yourself a trip to the hospital, nick the tree, and sap starts running out, collect the sap and rub it over the cut. Hold the wound together, and the sap will help the blood coagulate to bind the skin and stop the bleeding. Okay, so this little fellow here is what they call a Boyd's forest dragon. They're a common lizard. Their numbers have been considered vulnerable due to forest destruction and feral animals like cats and pigs, and also humans. We call him Jalbil, that's a Kuku-Yulunji name, and we believe that in the dream time he was a young man who'd just been initiated. That's why he's got those spots and white marks all over his body. He's a very shy lizard, or a very shy man, and he turned himself into this lizard.
It's great to learn how important this place is to the Aboriginals. They seem to have everything they need here in the forest. Through their art, they explain their beliefs and legends. But at the Eco Lodge, you can do as little or as much as you like. This lodge is world renowned for its luxurious spa and their very special touch. The natural beauty of the waterfall is the perfect backdrop for what I was about to experience. I could understand why this place is a sacred site for Aboriginal women. The treatments used at the Eco Lodge are made from native herbs, salt, ochres and oils collected from the surrounding rainforest. All I had to do was relax to the sound of the water. The Kuku-Yulunji people believe you should protect an ecosystem that provides for you. I definitely think we should adhere to their philosophy. Next, we head for the river to get up close and personal with the big salties. Jamie Beitzel has lived in the Daintree all his life. Fishing and the jungle shores of the river are his passion. What better person to show me around?
Like, you would have been out with your dad a lot.
Yeah.
What was it like back then?
It was full on. There was a lot of fish. You get a dozen, 15 boats, recreational and line fishermen doing it for a living. 10 years ago, it wouldn't matter what you towed around behind your boat. One of Mum's spoons, put a hook on it, tow it around on a bit of wire, you'd catch one.
So they were that thick?
They were that thick.
So over the last 10 years, what techniques have come into this area that weren't here before?
Well, the offshore gill netting, which was a problem down in southern waters, I've been told, with the spotted mackerel, and they've banned that, but we have 3, maybe 4 boats that have turned up the last 3 or 4 years, and they're taking a lot of fish.
And so what does that mean to you?
I don't get as many. A lot of the smaller line fishermen, people just can't catch one.
Finding crocs, the age-old dinosaurs of the river, is not hard. Crocs definitely rule here. The tangled mangroves are tidal and offer hiding places for the animals who feed on the river. Despite living in such a beautiful place, danger is never too far away. The secret is always stay alert. Crocs will take advantage of any mistake. For those wanting an up-close and personal look at these living dinosaurs, local operators will get you very close. This is Fat Albert, the 14-foot granddaddy of the Daintree. With crocs never too far away, Jamie and I ventured onto a sandy spit that borders the river and the ocean. We looked across at Snapper Island, which was once a vibrant spawning ground for the grey mackerel. With fish stocks critical worldwide, the local people are fighting hard to protect this marine environment. Healthy fish stocks means people like Jamie can take tourist fishing, helping to contribute to the local economy. It was time for me to make the river crossing into the heart of the Daintree Rainforest. Eco-operators believe in protecting the environment. With an asset like a World Heritage rainforest, it's refreshing to know it lies in the hands of people who appreciate it.
Cooper Creek Wilderness exists to provide the public with a facility that gets them into the centre of significance in ways that are respectful of the landscape that they're walking through. So no one comes into this forest without the supervision of a guide. This is the fruit of the Idiospermum tree, or the dinosaur tree,
That's one just down through there. And it was the discovery of this seed in 1971 that really elevated this rainforest north of the Daintree River to scientific prominence, because it's a very important piece of evidence supporting the age of this forest. So it's a very small patch of forest, but one of incredible antiquity.
135 million years old, the oldest rainforest in the world. And next, we get the chance to meet one of the rarest birds in the world. There are many rare and beautiful birds here, but there is one in particular I really wanted to see. We had a tip-off from a local. There was one in his backyard. Here we are at Pat's house, and he says he's just seen a cassowary, so we're going to sneak in and see if the cassowary is still here. Good, is he still here? He's still here. This is pretty cool. It's not often you get this close to a male cassowary. I'm literally only 10, 15 metres away from him, and he's sitting in the forest over there. This habitat is vital for the endangered southern cassowary. These beautiful birds can reach an impressive 2 metres in height and weigh up to 85 kilos. In the wet tropics, these huge birds are the only animals capable of distributing the seeds of more than 70 species of wet tropic trees. Here I am in the middle of the Daintree forest doing the latest and greatest sport called jungle surfing. That's it.
Feet down and sit yourself up.
The crew set me up with a harness and my own personal helmet. Okay, here we go, ready to enter the canopy. Woo-hoo! This is it, this is where we go surfing.
I was Indiana Jones.
Hey.
My hands, Mum.
All right, Indiana Jones, come on in.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, well, we're all at 17 metres, folks. So you've just come down from 20 metres from the top tree, and we're 17 metres here.
This is the action.
Okay, so this is the fast one.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how fast you're going, but you definitely feel the wind in your hair. Incoming! See you later.
Ready and woo! Best part of the whole day is going upside down, going through the forest backwards, and the trees just go flying past you. But it's a bit disorientating at the end, you just don't know where you are. Knowing this rainforest is World Heritage listed, I was concerned to learn it's still under threat from development. David Cook from Rainforest Rescue showed me blocks of land they're buying back to create wildlife corridors to protect species like the southern cassowary. Parts of the wonderful Daintree are being subdivided and can be cleared for development. There are a number of eco-lodges scattered around the Daintree, like beautiful Coconut Beach. This resort is nestled in the rainforest. Its cabins blend well with their surroundings. Around you are the sounds of nature. With modern comforts among lush tropical vegetation, it's a great place to unwind. From here, I look back over this stunning rainforest, its dense canopy stretching away to the mountains, and I marvel at the beauty of this precious place. Next, it's time to meet our fishy friends on the Great Barrier Reef. We leave these tranquil shores and head out to sea. The world's largest reef starts off the shores of Bundaberg and stretches all the way north to the tip of Australia. We left from Port Douglas to access the world-famous Ribbon Reefs, which lie in the northern part of the reef. This is adventure diving, and the only way to see this part of the reef is from a live-aboard dive boat, the Undersea Explorer. The Great Barrier Reef is over 2,300 kilometres, has 2,900 reefs, 600 continental islands, 300 coral cays, and 1,500 species of fish. That makes it the largest reef system in the world. Selected for World Heritage status in 1981, it's one of the world's 7 natural wonders. The Ribbon Reefs form a barrier between the ocean's swells and the coast. That's one of the reasons why the Great Barrier Reef got its name. On the outside of the reef are deep wall drop-offs that plunge thousands of metres to the sea floor. On the inside are sloping sandy coral gardens, perfect for snorkeling or diving. They feature hundreds of coral outcrops bathed in sunlight. The Great Barrier Reef is worth billions of dollars to the tourism industry and attracts 2 million tourists from around the globe, plus 5 million recreational visitors every year. The world's largest aquarium, a living miracle. How precious do you think this ecosystem is? On the Undersea Explorer, they know exactly where the best dive sites are, and it was time for me to get wet. In the deeper waters inside the reef stand mighty coral structures called pinnacles, also referred to as bommies. On the northern end of the ribbons is a site called the Snake Pit. Any guess who lives down there? Only one way to find out. I found a beautiful green turtle desperately trying to satisfy an itch. I offered my assistance, and the turtle could not get enough. He insisted I keep going until he was satisfied. Only then did he swim off into the blue. My next encounter was with one of the locals, an olive sea snake. He was hunting along the bottom of the reef, using his tongue to detect fish that may be hiding. These guys are poisonous, but rarely aggressive. I had no problem getting close to him. I just didn't want to interfere with his hunting. Instead, I watched as he cruised the reef, looking for dinner. Pinnacles have formed in many areas along the ribbons. Another popular dive site is Steve's Bommy. Steve's Bommy emerges from 40 metres of water and supports a variety of resident marine life. Pretty schools of antheas and many other reef fish species utilise the pinnacle structure as a home. It's like being in a fairy tale. These anemone fish have a symbiotic relationship with their host anemone. The anemone offers protection, and in turn, I have seen these delightful little fish feed the anemone. But the mood of this peaceful reefscape was suddenly about to change. The pelagic hunters had arrived. Blue-spotted trevally came to feed on the bounty around the pinnacle. The action attracted some larger hunters. Life can be dreamy for the reef fish beneath the waves, but the secret is remain alert, or you may just become dinner.
It was great. Beautiful, clear, blue water. Drops right down to oblivion. Few tuna.
My dive trip on the Undersea Explorer gave me a taste of what you can experience on the Great Barrier Reef. But the reef is so big and there's so much to see. It would take a lifetime to experience it all.
The best things I've ever seen in life, man cannot replace. The Great Barrier Reef may be old, but it is still a fragile ecosystem. Our modern lifestyles tend to upset the balance. So it is up to us to ensure the Great Barrier Reef stays just the way it is and has been for thousands of years.
Far North Queensland is an adventurous paradise. Where in the world can you explore two World Heritage areas side by side?